What's the difference between skiing and climbing? It's gravity. Specifically, how gravity and movement interact. In skiing, you're going with the pull of gravity, so movement is created automatically by that pull. But with climbing, you're going against gravity, and so the climber is responsible for the movement that's created. And the climber needs to create that movement very intentionally. And we have a block of exercises to help climbers do that. There are two objectives for these exercises. One is to learn to trust the body more, and the other is to diminish the mental interference. So for trusting the body more, we have an exercise called Follow the Eyes, And this is where we have the student grab or step on the first hold that they see. So as they're climbing, if their hand goes here to hold, they grab it, whether it's small or large. Same with feet. And so there's a reason why the eyes go first to certain holds. And that reason is the body's innate intelligence about wanting to be in balance. So it's kind of cool. We can tap into that intelligence by doing this drill. The second objective of these drills is to diminish the mental interference. Typically, because we're going against gravity, we think about a move, make a move, think about a move, make another move. It's just no momentum there, no continuity. So continuous climbing helps develop that continuity. We ask the students to just climb a little faster than normal and make small steps. So this is an emphasis not on speed, but on continuousness. And there's an important aspect to that. And that is, we want the students to focus their attention on processes. In this Falling in Commitment clinic, we teach 5 processes for focusing their attention, and each one has very specific things to focus on. So if we can get them to know exactly what to focus on for this continuous climbing, then they're going to be able to be in process more. So to be in process, though, is something that is constantly changing. In other words, if you're going a little bit faster and making small steps, even if some of the steps are sideways or even down a little bit, different directions, you're changing the situation continually. And what happens is the mind has to reassess the situation every time you make a little change. And by the time it tries to reassess the situation, you've already moved on to make another move. So it's a great way of interrupting the doubts that tend to come up. Recently, I taught a clinic at Sand Rock in Alabama to some college students. And they were beginners. The climb that I had them on was pretty moderate, had bigger holds. The top, though, was a little overhanging and created some doubt for them, like not very much confidence, obviously because they were beginners. But the intention that I wanted them to practice was to climb continuously. And by staying with that intention, almost all of the students made it through that section. Now, granted, their technique was terrible in a way. Well, they were beginners too, but they were like using more energy than necessary, like over gripping, doing some weird high stepping. But the focus of the exercise was not to develop technique. We could work on that some other time. I wanted them to experience what it feels like to stay committed when the mind tells them they can't continue. This is the essence of mental training and a really important aspect to experience. Continuous climbing pushes us out of our comfort zone so that we can have an experience. And an important aspect of mental training is you know something when you experience it, not before. So the continuous climbing, making these small engagements, gives us that experience, so then we can clarify the situation, which helps us take the next small step. An object at rest has a tendency to stay at rest. An object in motion has a tendency to stay in motion. Continuous climbing helps keep us in motion, helps create momentum, and transcends doubts. So you can practice this. Just I would recommend setting up a top rope, and you can work with the grade, maybe not moderate, a little harder than moderate, and then just inch it up and just see what it's like to climb continuously as you step up the grade. But it's best to do this on top rope initially, just so you can experience just focusing on this one element to practice. And then set the intention to climb a little bit faster than usual and making small steps. Remember to keep yourself in process. Be more likely to keep your attention in a moment that way. That's the lesson. Go to warriorsway.com. You can check out our books. You can also check out our courses. We have in-person and remote courses. We'd like to work with you. Thank you.